Every year, the Mariners get lots of letters asking for help, but one in particular recently stood out.
To whom it may concern, my name is Cassandra Reese, and I am currently a senior at Mabton Junior Senior High School.
You could easily blow past the eastern Washington farm town of Mabton and miss it entirely.
Our population is that of 87% free and reduced lunch. And with that, we have about 22% of our students are classified as migrant, which means they move where the work is, basically. And then, what we do is a lot of what we have to do is fundraise.
Needless to say, they don't have much there. So when softball coach Ron Rutz learned the Mariners were offering new grants to help deserving baseball and softball programs, he told his team captain Cassandra about it, and she immediately sent in her application detailing the horrendous conditions of her team's so-called field.
Last year especially, game after game had been canceled and practices were restricted to only batting cages, all because of the lake our field had become. I can assure you that absolutely no one has anything good to say about our field, and no one necessarily enjoys being here to play. We don't even have dugouts. We have fences and benches that we share with the whole school. Pre-game wasn't just for getting out equipment, it was also for tracking down the benches from the opposite side of the school. Our field normally, it's filled with rocks, so right after we got done with warm-ups and stuff, we'd pick up rocks, fill our whole glove with rocks, throw them over the fence right next to the fire hydrant every single day after practice or after warm-ups. Our last couple of games, the season of my junior year, they were canceled because puddles as big as lakes, basically, just filling our field.
Yeah, not to mention it was so dangerous, umpires would actually instruct the girls not to slide in some games just to avoid injury.
When we got done with our season last year, I asked the girls, girls, what do you want? Because we can fundraise for stuff. And most all of them said, Coach, we want a new field. And we've had our issues with our field where when it rains, we couldn't get on it for 2 or 3 days. We had to go hit in the cage because that wasn't flooded.
I truly believe that the Mabton Junior Senior High School girls softball team is one of the most deserving of this grant and will benefit the most from it as well. I just hope other people could believe that too. Sincerely, Cassandra Ruiz.
Cassandra's letter would land on the desk of Mariners Community Relations Coordinator Mackenzie Mitchell. She's overseeing a new program the M's launched this year as part of the team's On Base initiative. It helps support disadvantaged youth baseball and softball programs statewide.
Reading all of the letters was encouraging, but also heartbreaking to an extent, because you realize the struggles that so many communities in our state face, and we have such a diverse range of communities, not only geographically but socioeconomically, lots of different backgrounds. So we had applicants from inner city schools, from rural communities, from logging communities on the Canadian border.
But Cassandra's letter in particular really hit home.
It's not just going to practice. It's, can I go to practice because, I have to babysit my little brother because both my parents work, 2 jobs. Do I need to go to work and help put food on the table for our family? So when we read Mabton's letters about their field use and how it was challenging for them to even practice and how it was dangerous because they just couldn't afford to have field renovations and play safe softball, that was something that we thought, okay, we need to step in and make this to where they can even just play.
So the Mariners awarded one of 10 grants to the Mabton softball program for its field. It's only $5,000, but for these kids and their community, it's the world.
I mean, it's a godsend. I mean, when Mackenzie called me, I broke down because I was so excited. I sounded probably like a blundering idiot when I was talking to her because I remember pacing back and forth, and I was smiling so wide. I think if somebody was next to me, I probably would have knocked them over with my smile. That's how excited, everything was.
And for these kids, who, not an easy life with all of the other challenges and all that. How important is, just sports in general and softball and community, and then actually just getting a few, this is not like, oh my God, here's $1 million, but just even that little difference, how much of a difference does that make?
I think it makes a big difference. It's everything for us to be able to just get something in return. We're all hard workers there in Mabton, and we don't have much, and we cherish what we have as much as we can. And it's things like this, even if it doesn't seem like that much to other schools, it means the world to us.
That's why they call it Mariners Care.
We genuinely do care about our communities because we see these folks on a day-to-day basis. It's nothing of a marketing tactic to us. In fact, there's a lot of the things we do we intentionally try to do behind the scenes, because we know that where the impact happens isn't in front of a camera. It's not, in front of a screen. It's the one-on-one contact with these folks, and it's getting to hear these stories and learning more about just the humanity that we all share.
And that humanity was on display recently when Cassandra, Coach Ron, and the rest of the Lady Vikes got to come to Safeco Field for a special on-field ceremony. And even though her field won't exactly be on par with Safeco, it'll be tons better with gleaming new turf, clean dirt, and real dugouts. And while Cassandra has graduated now and won't get to actually play on it in a real game, for the rest of her life, she'll know she played a huge part in making it a reality.
We're all very close in Mabton, small town. We know everybody, and I know that these girls deserve everything. Like, I want to give my team the world, if I could.
Rest assured, Cassandra, you most certainly did. For the Mariners Magazine, I'm Josh Kearns reporting.